Boom. It's snowing again in Denver.
Yeah. It's about 10 degrees out. My car battery's on like 90%, so whenever it gets this cold too, my car doesn't really like to start. So see how that goes.
Sounds like some Denver problems.
Denver problems for sure. Or I could just go get a new battery, But too much work.
Well, it's so what? You're saying your car won't start?
Yeah, when it gets like really cold, my car won't start. When it gets like when it dips into single digits, it's like too cold. I mean, it works fine when it's above 20 degrees. That's why I don't.
You know what you could do?
What?
Move to the SEC, dog.
Move down south.
We don't have that problem down in the SEC.
Good.
Not typically. I mean, every once in a while. And then if that happens, what you do is you just go to Florida for like a few days.
Well, what if it's snowing there like it was this past winter?
You just keep going south. It don't snow like south of like Gainesville.
That's fair. Just keep going.
Just keep going. You just get the F out because nobody wants to deal with an ice storm in the South, especially like Atlanta. Oh my God. Like I got the F out of Atlanta for that last ice storm. Because I always picture like, imagine LA having a freakish ice storm. How many people would die on those freeways?
Or just like walking around, slipping on ice.
Bro, it's like that. Atlanta's where they have like 800 car pileups when the roads get icy.
Because no one knows how to drive in it.
Nobody knows how to drive it. It's like, oh my God, they pump their brakes and they're like, oh, I'm going faster. Like, your brakes are not your friend on ice.
No, 100%.
So, anyways, I wonder if I should. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna run the freaking. Just for anybody out there watching, this is the first edition of the Spence and Joe show, the sports and tacos subversion of the Spence and Joe show. And I'll run the intro just cause why not?
We're back.
Boom. Sports and tacos. The new Spence and Joe show. So, dude, we had a pretty sick ass show last night.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying, the Super Bowl was fire. Just getting on Radio Row was nuts. All the people you meet was crazy. The events after, like it was nuts, dude. Like Radio Row, just crazy because it's everybody all at once for 5 straight days, and it's open 24/7, and it's everybody, every media outlet, and then at about 5, 6, 7 o'clock that night, then all the events start happening. You know what I'm saying?
So it's just a nonstop party.
It's a nonstop party, bro. It's freaking. It is crazy town. And then, like the events, like the first night, we were at some super uber high class event called the Art of Whiskey, which they had in like the finest art gallery in New Orleans. Like, dude, there's like stuff on the wall that's like over $1 million, and you got all these people just doing shot after shot, tasting whiskey, getting housed.
Getting wasted right next to these.
I was just kind of like, this is kind of an odd place to have people getting trashed on whiskey.
Getting wasted on? Yeah, no that's crazy.
Like, they literally had Paul. You remember?
I know Paul Revere.
Are you Paul Revere?
I know who Paul Revere is. Yes.
Yeah, bro. They had his coffee pot for $1.3 million. That coffee pot could have been yours.
Really? Did you make a bet on it?
No, I did not.
I
took a picture of it.
Literally.
I went and asked them. I was like, "Can we even take pictures of this stuff? Is that allowed?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can take pictures, but
don't touch it.
Don't you even think about touching.
Have your camera look at it. You don't look at it.
And I was just because events are usually in places, like event type places, but that's where we were hanging out with like Gronk's dad, freaking the Gronk cat, like just so many cool people, bro. Just
That's pretty
nuts.
sweet. I'm
But
glad that was a good time because the game wasn't that great, huh?
dude, the game was the exact opposite of what I thought it was going to be. It was like Ian Drummond predicted a thorough Phillies ass whooping, and we all thought he was totally out of his mind. But
Yep.
he was right. I mean,
He was
bro.
right on point. Kansas City didn't even. Anytime they like had maybe a little bit of momentum, it was shut down right away.
Oh my God, that was like SEC defense beast mode madness.
Yeah, no, it was Mahomes had no time, and he didn't really. Yeah, I think everyone can calm down about the Mahomes Tom Brady goat comparison because I think Mahomes goat took quite a bit of a little bit of a hit now. I think he can still reach it, but I think he needs two more Super Bowl wins at least.
Yeah, we were talking
If
about
he
that
would have
last
won,
night.
if he would have won on that Sunday, then I think he three-peat something Brady never did.
I
But to
think
get
it's
shellacked like that, and it's the
I
second
think
time he's been shellacked.
I think it's just going to come down to longevity. I mean, he's got the talent. Okay, because we last night we were talking about what do you think? I'll get your opinion. What we set the number at 5.5. So over or under for his career Super Bowl titles for Patrick Mahomes 5.5.
Because he's at three right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, man? I'm gonna say under.
You
Because
know that
I think
like almost across the board, everybody was like
saying under.
under.
Well, I think
Yeah,
Kelsey's probably only got like if he comes back, he's got one more year. Then I don't know. I don't know how much longer Andy Reid's gonna coach.
yeah,
So I just think those two things, but we'll see. Like he's got what 5 appearances before he's 30, and if he can play till at least 40, 10 more years.
yeah.
But then again, the AFC, you still got Joe Burrow in there. The Chargers with Herbert are and Harbaugh are gonna be a lot better. The Raiders now with Pete Carroll, they might make some noise.
I
and,
think you're forgetting about the
the
one team
and
that's
the and the
actually going to give them a run for their money,
and the
Joe,
Denver Broncos with Bo Nix.
and
They might be
Sean
doing something.
Payton,
And
dog.
Sean Payton, yeah. So I just think
So
all those factors. We'll see though. But then again, Mahomes has proved that he has like all those guys' numbers. Josh Allen, he beats him all the time in the playoffs.
yeah, so that's kind of what I was asking about too. Do you think it honestly was just sort of an off year? Think about how good Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are. An off year for them is losing the Super Bowl. It's not missing the playoffs. It's not losing in the playoffs. Really, they've only
Losing
done
in the
that
Super
once.
Bowl.
They still in an off year because even though they finished 15-1, dude, they were getting so lucky
But
every
that's part of it too. They did get kind of lucky, and you know I'm not going to blame the refs by any means, but they did get like some help with some like a lot of good calls this year, and one score games. I think what they were like 10-0 in one score games, so they could easily be like 8-9 instead of 15-1. Now,
yeah,
granted,
like
obviously that's luck, or not all luck. You have to have that winner's mentality to win those games, but
like every single week they had a golden horseshoe up their ass, basically. So that's what I also asked was like they are, at least Denver Broncos fans and me and Tony, they are who we thought they were. They were probably you know a lesser version of the Super Bowl winning Mahomes teams. They just were getting lucky every week. And then you go into the Hollywood factor, like, you know, were the refs really getting paid, blah, 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 whoever, whatever's going on. But when it comes down to the Super Bowl, like, I think Vegas proved that the real boss is not Hollywood, it's
there was no way
Vegas.
the refs could even do anything about that game.
Yeah. No, that was
It
just straight. No, then we were talking about also. they're not going to go down as like one of the greatest defenses ever, but that could be one of the greatest defensive performances in the Super Bowl ever.
Never. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
bro, even though the score was 40-22, like it
Oh
should
well,
have ended 40-6.
yeah, no, that was all garbage time they scored. And Philly had their backups in. That was like
Yeah.
stat padded for Patrick Mahomes because that would have been like one of the worst performances ever by a quarterback.
No, oh my
like,
God.
like going into the fourth quarter, he had like less than 100 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns.
So, and I also, I asked the over under question. And it's kind of funny how many people, and I didn't agree with this, but they were talking, like, they think that, the Chiefs' run is over. I don't agree with that.
I don't think it's over. No, I think if you have Patrick Mahomes, like I don't know, I think
I
he'll.
think they just ran into just a straight steamroller of a defense this year.
Yeah, no,
You know,
and that got hot at the right time.
yeah, they did, because you go back to like week 6, and I was making fun of Ian. I was like, dude, your Eagles are done. Like
Yeah.
they weren't really playing that great, and
Well,
then they
they were
just
thinking about firing Sirianni now, like at the beginning of
what?
the year. You know?
And then all of a sudden, freaking I don't know how or why that happens. Why teams just freaking
Click.
galvanize like that. I don't know.
They, yeah,
So
but
yeah, I don't know, man. Freaking okay. So next year, uh because I looked at the odds, the Eagles are the favorite to win the Super Bowl again. I think that might be unlikely because here's if you go back throughout time of the NFL, the all-time great-ish type defenses, I don't think they've ever repeated.
didn't the Bears repeat in, like 85,
No,
86? They didn't.
no,
Oh,
they didn't repeat. The freaking um I guess the only team that I could really think of, but they had a great offense also, was like the Steelers of the 70s, Like
yeah,
they were amazing all the way around.
yeah.
But like the 85 Bears didn't repeat, the 86 Giants didn't repeat, I'm just sure the
I mean,
2000.
The Eagles don't. I mean, they're a great all around team too. Like Saquon Barkley's no joke. I think he'll be elite again next year. I
Yeah.
think Jalen Hurts is maybe not a top five, but at least top seven quarterback.
Yeah, the
And I mean,
2000.
we may have to put some more respect on his name because both times on the Super Bowl he's shown up. Even at the time they lost against Kansas City, that was like a
Oh yeah,
shootout,
dude.
38-35.
He shut the naysayers up for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, granted, the defense is going to get all the credit, but they still put up 40 points.
yeah, big weekend for the Caucasian athletes, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Cooper DeJean, Mac McClung,
yeah, yeah.
big weekend.
That's funny. So I mean, I just sitting there like the 2000 Ravens, they didn't repeat. The 2015 Broncos, they didn't repeat. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they can keep that defense together, I guess they could. It's
Yeah,
possible.
I mean, yeah. Then the NFC, I think it's kind of crazy. You look at like the AFC, like it's been the Chiefs, Patriots, and I think like the Broncos one year, and then maybe like somebody else. But like other than that, in the past like 20 years, it's crazy how much just like two teams in the AFC have just like dominated that like have gone to the Super Bowl. And then in the NFC, it's like a crapshoot almost every single year. It's almost a different team.
Yeah.
I saw a graphic on it, but it's literally like, oh, Chiefs have been the past like 6 or 7 years. Then it was the Patriots, and then like you throw in the Broncos one year, like the Bengals one year, and then that's pretty much it. And then I guess it probably started right around when like after Baltimore made it in 2001. But it's all just like two or three teams in the AFC. Then the NFC, it varies so much from year to year. It's kind of crazy.
Hmm.
You even think about the NFC East. There hasn't been a back-to-back champion like where the Eagles play. There hasn't been a back-to-back champion in that division for 20 plus years.
Dang. I
Something to
never
keep
really.
an eye on,
Yeah, God, dude. Yeah, because next year, I mean, you think about next year. Uh, I think about the Redskins or the Commanders, whatever. How
Oh,
good they're going to be next year if they just add some
Commanders,
pieces.
Eagles. That's
And the
about it.
Cowboys are going to still, I think, they're on their way down.
Yeah, I don't even know who the coach they just hired is.
They're making stupid decisions, but you figure you got the Eagles, the Commanders, the Giants. They who knows what happens with them, but yeah, the NFC is going to be
The NFC East is gonna be loaded.
good. Yeah,
50.
that's crazy. You're probably too young to remember, but like, um, when the Broncos won their first Super Bowl in '97,
Yeah,
the NFC had literally won the Super Bowl for I think 15 straight years.
really.
The Broncos had
The
broke.
Cowboys in all those years.
It was the Niners, the Cowboys, the Redskins, the Giants. Yeah, for 15 straight years, like the NFC just dominated the NFL.
Hmm.
Nobody really knew like why that was, happening, but it was one of the things that was kind of cool about when the Broncos won their first Super Bowl. They broke that freaking NFC just domination of the NFL. So,
Hmm.
anyways, what are your I so next season? I mean, I don't. I'm just like looking at it. I don't think I would be betting on the Eagles to repeat, but maybe. I mean, you, God, if Pat, I mean, think about okay, the Super Bowl against Brady. Remember when he lost to the Buccaneers? When Mahomes lost to the Buccaneers?
Yeah. He got crushed.
Yeah, he got crushed. So it's like when he has to play a crazy good defense in the Super Bowl, they can beat him. So the point I'm getting at here is the NFL now knows Patrick Mahomes is beatable, but he's
Yeah.
still Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the guy's still got 3 titles. You put some players in the right places around him.
Oh, I still think they're still going to be in the mix every like until he retires. I think it'll just be like kind of like how the Patriots were. They may not have won it, but like they're in the championship game or they're in the Super Bowl every single every single year, threatening.
If you had to put $1 million on either the Chiefs or the Eagles next year to win it, who do you think you'd? I don't know if I could see the Eagles repeating.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I'd probably do the Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs is probably the safer bet.
If I mean, I'm sure they got all their draft picks. You put one more like badass wide receiver with Mahomes, it it could be the difference. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not convinced automatically that the Eagles are like a new dynasty.
No, that's fair.
So
I don't
all
think
right, well, let's what are your let's just dip into the AFC West a little bit. So now let's assume the Chiefs are maybe down a little bit. What does your stupid Raiders need to do to get back into being
get back in it.
relevant in the NFL?
Well, we'll see. We got Pete
I mean,
Carroll.
I know the answer.
I think Pete Carroll's a great start.
I think Pete Carroll needs to be punched in his balls.
I like I like the hire of Pete Carroll. Bring some stability into the franchise. Next
Hmm.
piece is I think figuring out if they're gonna keep Aiden
You guys,
O'Connell as their guy or not.
you
Which I
guys will definitely be cheating if you have Pete. Yeah, Pete Carroll.
so you got to figure out the quarterback. A lot of moving defenses. For the defense, we've got Crosby. I think we get another like edge rusher on there. Get another like safety out there. Another coverage guy, and then yeah, figure it out from there. But I think first thing is just I think there's a lot of pieces we have to figure out. Like figure out if Aiden O'Connell, if they're going to go with him, and if not, are they going to take a QB this draft?
Why would you ever do that? They need a QB so bad. But okay, I was wrong about one thing because I clowned on them for taking uh the tight end. What's the tight end's name?
Brock Bowers.
Bro, the guy's a beast.
Yeah, but the tight end, I also feel like kind of is like a running back, where it's like
I get it.
you can have a really good one, but if your team's not good, what does it really fucking matter?
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is at least for to me making a stupid pick like that, the guy is
Oh,
a
he's a
beast.
baller, dude.
So now all they really have to do is get a quarterback.
Yeah.
Who would you and I know that I haven't heard would you so I've heard Shakir Sanders, Um, would you want to have Sanders, or has there been any talk of them maybe trying to snag Aaron
Yep.
Rodgers for one last year?
I have not heard that, but that wouldn't be shocking now that he's officially not going to be a Jet. We'll see. I don't know if I really want Shadir Sanders, dude. I think he might be like a little Johnny
Classic.
Manziel 2.0. I like the other guy, though, the guy from Miami, Cam Ward. He
Cam
seems like,
Ward's, yeah,
yeah,
Cam
he
Ward's
seems legit.
dope. So let's assume the Raiders.
Or we wait a year and draft Archie.
Oh my God, that would be. Dude, I would be scared about that. I
That
would
would
be
be sweet.
terrified
We tank. We tank this
if
year.
you saw
Tank for
Archie
Archie.
Manning in a
Tank for Archie,
freaking.
baby.
Oh, dude, I would be
He's
mad.
like Peyton Eli, and he's got wheels, dude. He's fast.
I know, like,
He's an athlete.
I've talked about this on the show before.
Hmm.
Like, if I was Archie Manning, I don't think I would play another down of college football.
And why even risk it?
Why even risk it?
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Well, because you still get like, I mean, I think the NIL makes it a little different now. Because like, if he's playing, you
I
get
get
paid.
it, but still, you're
Deals, dude.
Archie effing Manning. Your last name is Manning. Like, and maybe it's for glory. Maybe it's just you still have to go out and prove yourself. But I bet if the guy didn't play another down, he'd still be a first round draft pick.
Oh yeah, he'd probably be a top 10 pick, no doubt.
You know, and it's just what do you risk
Yeah.
playing? And I guess it's not amateur anymore. You're still making some money, but you ain't making first round NFL draft pick money.
I think that, dude. I think like the first row, like Shadir Sanders, I think takes home like $4 or $5 million a year, just more than
Yeah.
which is
But
more.
like if you're a top 10 pick, like that's like a guaranteed 40 or 50 million bucks these days, maybe more.
I don't think so. I think it's like after that first rookie deal. I think rookie deals are pretty cheap. That's why like
Not if you're like a top 10 pick. I think
yeah, but I still think they're
no.
more affordable. That's why like Washington's like let's win now because we got Jaden Daniels on this rookie deal where it's like in 2 or 3 years we're gonna have to sign him to a huge contract.
Yeah. I guess
That's
yeah,
the
you might be right. I mean, you're not getting 40 million a year, but you're getting 40 or 50 million for the first 4 years.
yeah. No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That's still more than whatever like the 4 or 5 million he's going to make to stay at Texas for another year.
No, that's true.
you know. So I kind of, and it kind of had almost brought up the topic of at some point, do you ever see, and I guess he is kind of a rare circumstance where you would see, because here, I was talking to Greg Vaughn about this, because you have NIL now.
Hmm.
If you get these players, say it's the top 20 best players in college, guys that are like a lock to be first round dudes.
Hmm.
Like, should the NFL start like a little AAA league to where they're making NFL money to
Well, that's
just
kind of what.
not even risk injury in college?
That's kind of what college football is now, with like the transfer portal and all the money they can get and the sponsorships they can now get. That's the huge argument. Like college football isn't as pure as it used to be because it's like you don't have is the team camaraderie.
Because and I think I remember saying, if, say, Jerry Jones had the opportunity to buy the rights to Archie Manning right now, pretend the draft didn't exist, or pretend it was like an auction draft.
Hmm.
You know, right now, right this minute, he never plays another down of college football. I bet, I bet Jerry Jones would pay $10 million a year for 5 years to buy the rights to Archie Manning right now.
Yeah, he might. And play.
Even if the dude doesn't start for 3 more years, I bet he would pay that.
Yeah, and just have him like
Just
play.
just to have the rights to him. Kind of like the Major League Baseball handles foreign players.
Yeah, or you just
They don't get drafted. It's just an auction, basically.
yeah, or they
They're
can.
considered free agents, and that's why you always see the Dodgers and like the Yankees and the Red Sox getting these best Japanese or these players from other countries because they just offer them. I don't know if there's any other like rights or how you get them, but I think it's just an auction. I'm not. You would see that, but I just saying. I guarantee Jerry Jones would probably be willing to put up at least $30 million right now to own the rights to Archie Manning for the next few
Probably like
years.
50 mil.
Probably 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
So I just, ugh. But I just I pray he does not end up a Raider in the AFC West. That would really piss me off.
Yeah. The
That's
AFC
sweet.
West. How about the four coaches in the AFC West? Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, and Pete Carroll.
Dude, they're all Super Bowl winners.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Pete Carroll, how many did Pete Carroll get? One with the
Just one.
Seahawks?
Yeah, one. Then he went to the second one, and then he
Right.
threw the ball at the one.
Yes, that was the famous interception from the
Yeah.
1 yard line,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep.
So you got him with one, Sean Payton with one. Jim Harbaugh, he never won a Super Bowl. He lost the Super Bowl. Now that I think about it, he lost. Remember, he lost against his
Oh,
brother.
you're right. You're right. Because I think he's got like that's like the last thing he needs for his resume. 'Cause he's got like
Yes,
a college championship.
but still, it's Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
So, uh, my Broncos. We were talking last night. Tony had a good point because I was thinking, you just give Bo Nix a running game. The Broncos are pretty beast mode. Like
No,
you
I
give
think
them
they'll
a
be good.
running game,
They'll be
but
good. Well, and I was also reading too is like Sean Payton, like his play calls are so complex that they can be like 15 lines, that
right.
it takes a long time to learn that. And now he's got like a year under that playbook. Like I think Bo
hmm
Nix is gonna have a real big year this year.
We could use me. We could use a top-notch wide receiver. We could use a running back. Tony went tight end, like our next uh Julius Thomas or Shannon
You died, bro.
All right. Yeah, so tight end, beast mode tight end
Not a bad
for the
idea. I could
Broncos.
see it.
Our next Travis Kelsey or Bowers or just whoever. Um, Trying to think of what like the Chargers because the Chargers kind of did the Chargers make the playoffs?
Yeah, they made the playoffs, and everyone thought they were going to beat the Texans. I think
Oh, that's right. The
everyone,
Texans, the
everyone,
Texans throttled them.
yeah, Texans absolutely throttled
Well, let's see. We got a few more minutes here. What are your thoughts, real quick, on um, Doncic and
them.
Anthony Davis?
Well, I'm a Lakers guy, so I love it. I think it's one of the craziest trades like ever in my lifetime. Just like I literally was going to bed and like read that on my phone and was like, what? Like thought it was fake. I was like, no way. I spent like an hour on my phone scrolling through it, just being like, my goodness, this is crazy. I feel like something's going on that we don't know about because I just don't see in a world like. Granted, Anthony Davis is a good player, but I don't know how you give up a 25-year-old superstar who just took your team to the finals. I've been hearing stuff, like Nico Harrison called him overweight. And like it's like, well, I'll take that overweight guy, have him take me to the NBA finals every single year. And it's like, oh, he doesn't play defense. It's like, well, he's getting triple teamed and has to score 30 points a game and get like 10 rebounds a game. I think it's one of the wildest trades ever. And yeah, we'll see. I don't think LA is going to be that much of a threat this year. I think it'll be kind of. I don't think they have enough
Here's
playmakers.
what I think. I think they're it may. Here's what I think. They're kind of essentially equal-ish type players. Both are injured all the freaking time.
Not really,
I,
man.
they're both injured a
I
lot.
mean, Luka's hurt. I mean, he's kind of hurt a lot. AD's hurt a
Like
lot.
lately, and what I heard was this. So Anthony Davis is hurt all the time, and they have a massive contract. They're on the hook for like a huge contract with him. I think the Lakers thought this is what I think. Well, this is what I think they think that there's bigger upside to Luca if you get him out of Dallas because I guarantee he was in Dallas he's a huge fish in a relatively medium-sized pond in
Yeah,
Dallas. He takes that fat, out of shape ass to LA, where you ain't shit in LA. Even LeBron isn't that big of a deal in Los Angeles. A true like Angelinos, like your stripes are earned in
hmm
LA. You don't roll in there the boss. You become the boss. He still in LA is not necessarily that accepted. Not like Magic, not like Kareem,
yeah,
not like those dudes. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But what I think that they think is, and this is what I was told in Dallas. They've been trying to get his ass to lose weight because it's the reason why his calves are constantly jacked up because he's constantly overweight. You know, I heard 280,
I,
and
I heard 270, but he's also 6'8", 270. He's nothing
I
crazy.
get it, but he's out of shape. But the point is he's making no attempt, from what I've heard, to get into shape.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Dropping like 30 points playing 30 minutes in an NBA game and averaging 10 assists,
I
like
get it.
that's
I
pretty in
get it.
shape. Like,
Here's what I'm thinking. He goes to what LA is thinking. There's bigger upside if he gets with the program. Because, everybody knows
he's got
LeBron is,
LeBron there. Yeah.
dude, LeBron is the sickest freaking in shape just nut in the world. Like
Yeah, no
him and
doubt
Tom
about it.
Brady, like they are next level about their bodies.
Yeah, no doubt. He spent
And,
like
and
$1 million a year on it.
yeah, so I think they might be thinking you come to LA because you're gonna get clowned, especially by chicks, if you're like Luca and you're all flabby. In
I don't think Luca will get flabbed by chicks, dude.
in the land, I'm telling you, you're not that big of a star in LA. You are a star amongst stars.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You are in the land of stars. So I think they think LeBron will rub off on him, and if he can get his act together with his body and getting in shape, the upside for him is massive.
yeah, it's gonna be
As
crazy.
opposed to an Anthony Davis who kind of is what he is. He's always going to miss 20, 30, 40 games a year. Just like that's just the way it has been for them.
Yeah, true,
You know
true.
what I'm saying? So if you can somehow whip Luca into shape, because all he's got to do is lose some weight.
Mhm.
That's literally just that's just like a just do it kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. It just kind of seems like Anthony Davis is sort of snake bit. I don't know if it's his body, kind of got some Zion like issues.
he's
I
in
don't know why.
he's in his
It's not
30s.
his weight.
Yeah,
So, and if that's the case, and he goes to LA, gets with the program, dude, Luca could be just beast mode for the next decade. Or he could, be like, no, screw you. I am who I am. And then they'll,
he'll be a
he
beast though, dude. Like we're talking like Luca like hasn't been good the past 6 years. Like he's went into the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, and he's 25 years old. You know,
well,
like
they were in the same position as LA. They were on the hook for an ass load of money
hmm
for a guy that just like don't want to put down the Twinkies, I guess.
maybe, man. I think you're not putting enough respect on his name.
I get it. They're kind of the equal players. I just think that LA thinks that if he moves to
Well,
LA and
equal
sees
players.
the LA
I think
lifestyle.
Luca's like a top. It goes what like Jokic, Giannis, then probably Luca as like the top players in the NBA, and then Davis is probably like a top 10, top 15 guy. But like Doncic is a top 5 NBA player.
Yeah. But what I've heard is if the dude doesn't lose weight, it's gonna go away fast.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
And
Like,
it's because of his, and that's what I'm told, is just his legs cannot withstand that impact of that body weight
yeah,
at game in and game out. So that's what I've heard.
that's
But
fair.
so it could be amazing. It could be amazing if he gets with the program,
I hope it is.
especially with LeBron. I mean, look at what LeBron is still doing at his age.
Yeah,
That's
41.
like, bro, that's insane.
Yeah, no, it's
And
crazy.
he's still just a beast. So if Luca could be even like half of that, dude, they may have titles, in the
I hope so.
future.
I hope so.
So, and that's pretty much, I think that's all I really got for today. Pitchers and catchers reported. The only other thing I had on baseball is Shohei is thrown off the mound 95 miles an hour again. Like, what?
Sweet. He'll go for the Cy Young and the MVP this year.
That's going to be really not fair. That's what it's going to be.
It isn't fair.
So, all right, dude. Well, this is the first Spence and Joe show. We'll try and do this every week.
Cool.
It's a little more clear. We had like 6 people on last night, and it was just
Mayhem.
constant talk over one another. It was a great show. We had a dude. Yeah, that's what I was leading with. A guy, Leon Muhammad, who's essentially he's not necessarily an agent, but he hunts talent for big time sports agents.
Nice.
And like he's boys with Terrell Davis, I think, and Marshall Falk.
Damn.
So he wants to. He loves this. He loves the podcast and wants to help us go places. So.
I'm in for it.
And then I got another call today with a big fish at 12:30 about sports and tacos.
Sweet,
So
man.
who knows? Maybe we can get this thing to actually go somewhere.
That'd be cool. I'm in for
All
it.
right, all right, dude. Have a good rest of your day. Let's do this again next week.
Let's do it.
All right. See ya.
Later, bro.